Shalom Mishkan David, partners with Israel, and welcome to our weekly updates. You're about to watch this week's update, what's happening in Israel, what's happening in the spirit, so you'll be educated and you'll know how to wage war against the enemies and how to pray and what to pray about. So if you're not yet a partner with Israel, please go into our mishkandavid.org website, scroll down a little bit, you'll see Give to Israel. Just click on that link over there and become a sustainable partner of Israel. With $18 a month or increments of $18, you can make a huge impact in Israel, help people, support lives, and really make a difference. So please go to mishkandavid.org, click on the Israel link, and become a sustainable partner. Now, go to the video. Shalom Mishkan David, partners with Israel, and welcome to Ioannina in Greece. This is one of the most amazing locations in the whole world, actually, because in Ioannina, this is where the first biggest Jewish community was established right after they've been exiled from Israel in the year 70 AD, after the destruction of the temple, when the Romans scattered the Jews throughout the world. A big bunch of Jewish people, mainly religious, very educated, came here to Ioannina, established a strong community here not far from the lake, and actually started a teaching and a yeshiva that was one of the most famous in the entire Jewish world. And as a matter of fact, even until today, everywhere around the world where there is a Jewish community of people originated from Greece, they speak in the very special dialect and a very special prayer version like the Ioannina one. Even in Jerusalem, not far from the marketplace, if you come back with me to Israel, I'll show you the exact place. Until now, there's a synagogue that goes back to the heritage of Ioannina. And why am I talking about this right now? Because we are in the Torah portion of Vayetze, and it's speaking about the dream of Jacob. When Jacob was lying down in the land of Israel, in the Holy Land, he slept on this holy ground, and he saw this vision, his dream of angels going up and down a ladder, back and forth, up and down, showing the connection between God and the Holy Land and Jacob, where he got the promise that his descendants are going to thrive and he's going to inherit the land. And what's happening is that Jacob decides to go and fetch for a woman. He goes all the way to Haran, and he's starting to work for Laban because he promises him that he's going to marry Rachel. Unfortunately, he was deceived by Laban. He took advantage of him after he worked for him for free for 7 years. He didn't give him a Rachel, he gave him Leah. But Jacob was a very honorable man. He respected Laban, even though he was his oppressor, you can say. And he kept on working another 7 years so he can get Rachel. And then he understood and realized that Jacob is not willing to release him. He enjoyed very much taking advantage of Jacob. This is everything that happens to the Jews. When you are in the exile, you are in the hands of other people. They always take advantage of you. They never let you go into your promise. They never really let you thrive. And Jacob understood that he needs to turn his back on Laban, take his wives, and run away from there, because nobody is going to give him any slack. And this is what happens to Jewish people throughout the world. We have seen also in Greece, in other places, Jews every time were taken advantage of. And here in Greece, many Jews died during the times of the Holocaust, and in other places in Europe and around the world. So only when they understood that it's time to leave everything behind and come and make Aliyah, immigrate to Israel, this is when they went into their promise, into their strength, and started to build up a society, an equal society with a lot of strength. It's connected very well to what's happening in Israel right now. The Gentiles, other nations, are trying to force Israel into giving some lands to so-called the Palestinians. The Americans are wanting to build up a consulate for the Palestinians in Jerusalem, to literally divide Jerusalem. Don't let Jerusalem have the strength of the capital of the only Jewish people. They are trying to sabotage the blessing of God over the people of Israel, because then we know that there's unbreakable bond between the Jews and the land of Israel and the promises of God. and the blessing. That's what the Gentiles, that's what many people trying to do to us. But I know that as Jews and Christians and Messianic Jews, we love Israel, we love the word of God, we trust the promise of God, and the Jews will come back home, will gather back home, will step into their promise, will have their capital always in Jerusalem. And even though we had good societies and good communities outside of the land of Israel, now that we are home, we understand what it is, the promise of God. So keep sowing into Israel, keep supporting our presence in Israel, because this is the thing that will bring Messiah back to all of us. I love you a lot, Dubi, from Ioannina in Greece. Bye for now.